Hey everybody, it's Tiffany with the Love of Food and Travel, and today we're talking probably the most important topic in travel, finding the best flight deals. And joining me is Joni with Seek&Sip. Hey Joni.
Hey Tiffany.
Okay, so what's the best tip you would give somebody when they're looking to find the cheapest flights?
I would say that you need to make sure you're being flexible. You may not get that direct flight that you really are accustomed to or that you really wanted, but just make sure that you're being flexible in terms of your comfort level and also those times for those flights.
Okay, and what about days and times? I keep hearing that Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the best times to find, the cheapest flights. What do you think about that?
So, in my experience, the days and times are not necessarily so. Some airlines actually they do post their sale fares on particular days. So Tuesday may be a good day for a particular airline that you may want to check them out. But I think if you do a little bit of searching on your own, one thing that I like to do is I'll say, we're going to Hawaii. What's the average round trip ticket for Hawaii 2016?
Mm-hmm.
And then I take that number and compare it with the number that I have today, and then kind of go from there. So you look at that price and it's a good price and you're willing to pay it, then I say go for it.
Okay, and what about some apps and websites that you think are the best for sort of keeping track of those flights that you may be able to catch a good deal on?
Mm-hmm. So two of my favorite ones, definitely Hopper is one I've been using for years now. So one thing I do like about Hopper is that it gives you those alerts. So when that ticket price goes down, or they may say, no, don't book it just yet, let's wait a while. Historically, that ticket has been this price.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. Momondo is good as well. They do the same thing, and graphically it's a little bit prettier as well. Now, in terms of websites, there is a website called The Flight Deal. It is subscription based, so you're gonna have to pay a couple bucks a month to be a part of it. But they do a lot of like sale fares, exclusively glitch fares or those mistake fares. So you're more likely to find that round trip ticket to Paris for $250 that you've been waiting for.
Oh, that's good. Okay, good stuff. Let's talk budget airlines. Okay, some people love them, some people hate them. Would you recommend them? And if so, what do people need to know if they make the decision to fly a budget airline?
So I don't have anything against a budget airline.
Okay.
I think if it fits your need, if it's going to get you there in the time that you need and it's a great price, just go for it. But keep in mind, you're going to have to be flexible because you may or may not have a direct flight. So your flight may be a little bit longer than you really want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Also, your comfort level is going to be different. Those airlines, basically, they take more seats and they kind of put them inside the airline to sell more tickets rather. So you want to make sure that you're okay with that because you make it a seat and your knees are going to be on the seat in front of you.
Even if you're 5'2".
And no snacks.
And no snacks. Okay, so what about if you're planning, say, a family vacation and you know exactly where you're going, it's 6 months out? Mm-hmm. Should you book right away, or is there a certain time frame where you can find the cheapest deal for that?
So again, if you use those apps, that Hopper, the Momondo, if you're watching those flights on the different airline apps as well or on their websites, you may be able to keep track of those ticket prices and then just go with one that you feel comfortable with paying. Again, do a search engine, do a Google search maybe. Find out that average ticket price from last year compared to this year, mm-hmm. and then gauge and see if you're comfortable with that. Sometimes it's just all one big gamble.
Okay. Now this is a little off topic, but we have to talk about the Real ID. Talk about that.
So the Real ID is the new federally mandated form of ID similar to your passport. Your passport gives you international travel. Your Real ID basically is just for domestic travel. The difference is that the Real ID will replace your driver's license or your state ID. The problem is that the federal government wants to make sure that you are who you say you are. Okay. And the only way they can really do that is by their own guidelines and checks, right? Mm-hmm. So they'll send you through your FBI background check, you'll do your criminal history check. But see, state-wise, they don't do all of that. They verify address, if that, and then they give you your ID. Okay. So if you want to fly commercially, you're going to have to get this Real ID. It's federally mandated in order for you to board an airline from now on.
Interesting. All great information. I want to thank everybody for watching. You can catch me online at theloveoffoodandtravel.com, and you can catch Seek and Sip on Facebook and Instagram. I'll see you guys next time.